It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we've got a showdown in the AFC South. It's the Texans and the Colts, and it's all up next.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. With my good friend Charles Davis in the booth, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and the moment has finally arrived, CD. It's time to begin a new NFL season.
Partner, there's no hiding my excitement as I got ready this morning. I could not wait to get here for this game. Imagine what it's like out there on the field for those players, though. OTAs, training camp, preseason, has all led to this moment when they officially kick this one off to get the season underway.
Just about set for football. The veteran Matt Gay has it teed up, and we are underway now at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Texans offense heading out behind their quarterback in his second season. Last year's Offensive Rookie of the Year, C.J. Stroud.
And he's coming off of a truly remarkable rookie season where he quieted a lot of his doubters in a most emphatic fashion. Remember, going into the draft, many thought he was the number 2 quarterback coming out of college. He proved quickly he was a top quarterback going into the NFL. One of the best rookie seasons by a quarterback in recent memory. And what's scary about it, he's not even close to reaching his ceiling.
From the 31, here's a second down and 6. Stroud out of the gun here. He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Here's Stroud. And Daniels has it over the middle. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 11 more on that one and another first down. Stroud to throw it. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Stroud. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Play action. Here's Stroud. The trolley. He's got the first down and then some. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Nico Collins, 45 yards. And the Texans are on the board here first in the season opener. There you go, Charles. His first touchdown pass of the new season.
And he had a strong rookie year. So much more expected of him this one, as you might imagine. He threw that one with confidence and assuredness.
And I noticed that the celebration a little bit more subdued than his first touchdown pass last year as a rookie.
Yeah, he certainly is acting like he's done it before.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So now the Colts will get their first opportunity with a football. They'll be led out by a product of the University of Texas, their quarterback, Sam Ehlinger.
And when his name comes up, the first word that goes along with it, winner. One of the winningest quarterbacks in the University of Texas history. He may have been a late-round draft pick. People may question his arm strength. But one thing you don't question, his leadership and his competitiveness. Trusted as a captain at Texas and a great voice in the locker room, no matter what team he's on.
The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll go right back to the ground with Dickerson. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Manning going to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Clark. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he is going to have a Colts 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the 1st down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the 1st down, get a new set, and let's start over. This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
And this taken in by Downs. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Here's Manning to throw. Man open, that's Juwan Winfrey. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season. And they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Foster. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Stroud working out of the gun. And that's complete. It's the tight end Daniels. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down. Stroud. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the 1st drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Had the offense humming on the 1st drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we could always lock in on the skill position, guys. But those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
Again, it's Stroud. He's got it. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Texans lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts.
They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Play action. Manning. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 2. Throw out right, pulled in by Downs. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. Manning now to throw. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Option right. Here's Stroud. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Now Stroud. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Dayo Odeyingbo able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up 4th down. Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. That's taken on the 25. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Indy set to go on offense once more. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. In motion right, that's Harrison. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. To throw is Manning. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Now Manning. In trouble, and he's taken down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Here's Rigoberto Sanchez on to punt. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he the return Johnson. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43 turn. And the Texans will take over. Houston set to take it. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. And Stroud now to throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Stroud looking to throw. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Looking to throw. Stroud. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. They keep it in the hands of Foster. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now to change things up, Stroud will throw it. Caught, left side, Hopkins. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down. A first down carry for Foster. Runs through the contact. And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2.
From the 22 now, here's a 2nd and 7.
Operating from the gun, Stroud. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Texans are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Well, he's regarded as one of the best athletes among NFL tight ends, Charles, and it certainly was on display right there.
And as we've seen this league continue to grow and develop, I think the tight end position is becoming harder and harder to defend because now it's elite athletes playing that position, not just the big guys who can block. How about his ability to get downfield and make plays against any defense?
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That one will go for 9 yards and a first down on the keeper.
Pass complete there to Harrison.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
Inside give to Dickerson.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down. Throwing now is Manning. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. He's going to try and do this himself.
It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that's going to make it 4th down. Gay's kick is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. And this is going to be roughing the kicker, an inexcusable penalty, Charles.
You've worked so hard to hold him to a three-point kick. Now you're giving him the ball again with a chance for a touchdown.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Going to give it up the middle. Here's Dickerson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
He's going to try and take off with it.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Manning. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
They'll try and run for it here with Dickerson. And he takes it in for a Colts score.
Jonathan Taylor
punching it in from a yard away.
And the Colts' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Well, I mean, down early here in this first half, I think they felt their backs were against the wall already, so they go for it on 4th and goal, and they're able to punch it into the end zone.
And they did a nice job there, feeling like their backs were against the wall, but going ahead and hunkering down and pushing forward and getting that score. That continues to give them an opportunity.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now, they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one. So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Johnson's got it complete. Just a gain of a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
Here's Stroud. Oh, a first mistake for him in the ballgame as it's intercepted. And the Colts are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered, they'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field.
They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
Now Manning. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Beating him there with his legs. 21 yards, first down.
I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Josh Downs,
26 yards.
and the Colts have cut it back within a score.
The catch and the touchdown, they were the end result of a terrific route run by the receiver.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Texans offense and C.J. Stroud getting ready for this next drive. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
You put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender. But you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
Throwing now is Stroud.
It's caught right side by Daniels. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. They'll try and run for it with Foster. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here's Tommy Townsend now,
as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is taken at about the 14. 51 yards on the punt there.
and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. A little bit of flip the script. Quarter 1, they struggled. Quarter 2 here, they put things together. And I guess sometimes, Charles, you just come out and you have to get your feet underneath you in a ball game, right?
That's exactly right, because every now and then you don't come out of the gate as fast or as strong as you want to. Sometimes you have to ramp up into it or take a few hits along the way and figure it out. And that's what they've done so far. Slow start, but now they're starting to put it together.
2nd down, another run with Taylor.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Manning going to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
The Colts on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away.
It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Stroud to throw it.
To the catch made by Hopkins. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Open man here is Foster. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a second and long.
Stroud.
Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback, and that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the second interception in the first half.
Stroud will look to throw once more.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 23. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6.
And they will take over first and 10. The Colts getting another possession here on offense. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That one goes for 24 yards. To throw, it's Manning.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
So here's a 3rd and 14.
Working from the gun, Manning. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And Gay knocks this one through, and that'll bring him back within 4.
So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Texans with the football here late in this first half.
And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Stroud out of the gun here. He gets this one to Johnson. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
Back to throw. Stroud. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
The throwing again is Stroud. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench, not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away.
And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. Both of these offenses had their share of high points in that first half. Each team had some big moments, and it would seem this could turn out to be a game where the last score wins.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Colts offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Manning now to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Dickerson on the handoff. A beautiful fake. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
66 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
From midfield, here's Manning. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
To throw is Manning. Getting this into the hands of Eric Dickerson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Here's Manning to throw.
And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on for the 5th time here today. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
The Texans offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
A shotgun snap to Stroud.
That's complete. It's Collins. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
2nd down and 4.
They run up the middle with Foster. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he is going to have a Texans first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. Now Stroud.
Over the middle, complete. It's Johnson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Now a 2nd and 2. Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he could pull it down in the end zone, but the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8.
He's got exactly what you're looking for, the ability to not just diagnose a play and quickly, but to make a play as well. Nice job there tackling him for a loss.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and they will open their lead up to a touchdown at 24-17. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game and you look at the backgrounds of these kickers? It's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Indianapolis offense ready to go again. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. Now a 2nd and 10.
Running it with Dickerson.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their number one goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
setting up the screen to Dickerson. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Now Manning.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A carry for Dickerson.
And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2.
Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
He really looked comfortable there, scanning the situation, analyzing things, feeling the pressure, and then stepping up right through the middle and sprinting for a first down.
Dickerson trying the right side. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's a nice job there, foiling what all offenses try to do, which is control the defensive end in the running game. They want to get to the outside, and if he keeps himself free, stays on his feet, he can make a play just as he did there.
82 yards rushing for him now to this point.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was onto it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
They'll try and run for it. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. On play action, now Manning.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 14. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Now Manning. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Josh Downs, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Colts have a chance to tie the ball game here in the final minute of the 3rd.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
And here comes the Texans now.
We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. Play action. Here's Stroud. He's got it to Collins, complete.
And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
And Stroud now to throw.
Complete. It's Johnson. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis. All even as we get ready to start the 4th.
Now 2nd and 3. Throwing now is Stroud.
And that's complete. It's the tight end Daniels. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
And Stover proved his toughness in his time at Ohio State. Played on offense at tight end and fullback. Also played a little defense as a linebacker. Strong hands, can catch the football. Remember the story about massaging bulls in order to increase the hand strength.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Here's Stroud.
And Daniels has it over the middle.
And the Texans are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Texans answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. So, Charles, this game feels like it has been punch, counter-punch all throughout, and that touchdown breaks our tie here in the 4th quarter.
You're making me want to get back in the gym and start training again. You talk about those punches and counter punches. I also think this is where you and I start thinking to ourselves, who's going to make the play to change that, right? Who's going to get out of this little cycle that they're in right now and make a play and give their team a firm advantage?
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Colts offense and running back Jonathan Taylor heading back onto the field. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Oh, the option to give to Taylor here.
And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Officially nothing on that one. No gain. So they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Now Manning. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today.
Johnson on the return.
It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession.
The Texans' offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down.
Stroud to throw it. And they try to set up the screen, but that almost disaster as it falls incomplete. Very nearly a turnover, but it's fourth down.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. This is taken at the 18. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. Manning going to throw.
Over the middle, into the hands of Woods.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Manning. The open man is Clark, complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now an option play, and he'll keep it. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a 1st down.
He'll decide to keep this once more.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
Now an option play on 2nd down.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Throwing is Manning. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to a 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And this punt sails over the sideline, and the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line.
This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives them a 1st down.
Stroud.
It's caught outright by Graham. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Stroud looking to throw.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Stroud working out of the gun. That is caught.
And he's got enough for the 1st across midfield to the 48. Move the chains. A gain of 7 on 3rd down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Off the option, here's Akers.
And he's got this down to the 35. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And
he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
And it's Tommy Adebawore, the one who got in there for the sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down.
Play action. Stroud now.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
So the Colts now down by 10, 2:11 to go. They have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, but they need 2 scores.
Throw out right, pulled in by Downs.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
They come up now on 2nd and 2.
Throwing now is Manning. On the slant, he gets it to Clark. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Barry. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Manning to throw.
Connecting over the middle with Downs. The 2 timeouts still remaining, but scoring quickly, a must. It's 1st and 10.
And he's got his man on the out route. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now Manning.
Over the middle, Harrison.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts. To throw is Manning, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long.
Now the question is obvious. Do you try to kick the field goal right here knowing that you need 2 scores? I would be thinking about it if I were on that sideline. Get the field goal now, try and get the touchdown later.
Back to throw, Manning. Oh no, he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
Houston set to take over.
And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. And they take a knee. And just how they envisioned the start of the season, kneeling it down, defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know what's really strange? I think a lot of people think that the kneel-down practice stuff really only happens like one time a week. The best teams I know, they practice it starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep, a knee gets them to 1-0.
Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for Houston, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.